Number 21. Nasreddin wanted to buy some new clothes, so he went to a shop. First he asked for some trousers and put them on. But then he took them off and gave them back to the shopkeeper and said, "No, give me a coat instead of these." The man gave him a coat and said, "This one costs the same as the trousers." Nasreddin took the coat and walked out of the shop with it. The shopkeeper ran after him and said, "You have not paid for that coat." "But I gave you the trousers for the coat," said Nasreddin. "They cost the same as the coat, didn't they?" "Yes," said the shopkeeper, "but you didn't pay for the trousers either." "Of course I didn't," answered Nasreddin. "I didn't take them. I'm not stupid. Nobody gives things back and then pays for them."
Number 22. One day, the boys of Nasreddin's village said to him, "You have a nice fat sheep. Will you invite us to a party to eat it with you?" Nasreddin did not want the boys to eat his sheep, so he said, "It's not fat enough yet." "But have you not heard?" they said. "The world is going to end tomorrow, so the sheep will never get fat." Nasreddin was getting tired of this, so he said, "All right, boys, we will have a picnic tomorrow and eat the sheep." So the next morning they all went to the river. The boys took off their clothes and jumped into the water, and Nasreddin killed the sheep. When the boys came out, their clothes were not there. "Where are our clothes, Nasreddin?" they asked. "Oh," he answered, "I made the fire to cook the sheep with your clothes. You will not need them again. The world is going to end today. Don't you remember?"
Number 23. Whenever it rained, water came through Nasreddin's roof. So one day he got his ladder, climbed up onto the roof, and began to mend it. It was quite difficult and dangerous work. While he was up there, he suddenly saw an old man in the street. This man was waving to him. He wanted Nasreddin to come down. Nasreddin thought, "What has happened? What news has this man got for me?" So he climbed down the ladder quickly. Several times he slipped and nearly broke his neck. When he got to the bottom, the old man said, "I'm a poor man. Please give me some money." Nasreddin was very angry, but he said, "Come up." He helped the old man to climb up the ladder and onto the roof. Then he said to him, "I am a poor man too. I have no money for you. And now go down alone. I will not help you."
Number 24. One day, Mr. Robinson saw a lady in the street with 10 children. He was very surprised, because all the children were wearing the same clothes, white caps, dark blue coats, and grey trousers. "Are all those children yours?" he asked the mother. "Yes, they are," she answered. "Do you always dress them in the same clothes?" asked Mr. Robinson. "Yes," answered the mother. "When we had only 4 children, we dressed them in the same clothes because we didn't want to lose any of them. It was easy to see our children when they were among other children, because they were all wearing the same clothes. And now, when we have 10, we dress them like this because we don't want to take other children home too by mistake. When there are other children among ours, it's easy to see them because their clothes are different."
Number 25. Mr. and Mrs. Brown lived in a small house near London with their child. Sometimes Mr. Brown came back from work very late, when his wife and the child were asleep, and then he opened the front door of his house with his key and came in very quietly. But one night when he was coming home late, he lost his key. So when he reached his house, he rang the bell. Nothing happened. He rang it again. Again nothing happened. Nobody moved inside the house. Mr. Brown knocked at the bedroom window. He spoke to his wife. He shouted, but she did not wake up. At last he stopped and thought for a few seconds. Then he began to speak like a small child. "Mother," he said, "I want to go to the lavatory." He spoke quite quietly, but at once Mrs. Brown woke up. Then he spoke to her, and she opened the door for him.